Wow. Um, I mean, it was a heck of a game, first of all, and just so much respect for Texas A&M and Coach Blair and his staff and those players. Um, the first half we got taken to the woodshed, and there's not a lot of talk about it at halftime other than if you want to go back to the woodshed, you go back out there and play like you played. Um, in the second half, we seemed to have a little bit more energy, but not as much in the third quarter. But as the game wore on, I just felt like they would get a little tired because they just don't have very much depth. And I feel like we're in pretty good shape. And I'm going to tell y'all, Maya Taylor was the best player in the gym today. And I am so proud of her. To see her go out and play the way she had 6 assists, no turnovers, runs our team. I don't know how many steals you have. 3 steals, all of them big. But just to see her grow and mature this year, and really she's done it on a really, I think, on a fast track. I mean, look who I'm up here with. I got 2 freshmen and a redshirt sophomore. When I went down, when we really needed to make a run and get some things going, I put Jayla in the game. And again, she's given me some confidence and practice lately. We were getting killed on the boards. One thing she'll do is she'll get in there and battle, amongst other things. But that's one thing she really does well from her guard spot. She didn't turn it over. And but just, you'd have to know Maya's path and how hard it is to be a point guard for me, and the expectations and the demands that come with being a point guard for us here at Mississippi State. It's just not easy, and it hasn't been easy for her. But lately, she's really played well. She takes so much pride in taking care of the ball, but I just thought tonight she just took over the game, both ends of the floor. She dictated what they did on offense. She obviously was dictating what we were doing on offense. If she wasn't making the shot, she was making the pass that led to the shot or got us to the free throw line. She just made some incredible decisions. And I'm just going to tell you, that team was picked to win our league. And to do it in that environment today when, look, our first half obviously was not our best half. We did not play well. And to find a way to get your team to get back in it. But again, it's always somebody. It was Joe Thursday night. Tonight it was Maya. I just thought our team saw Maya and went, okay, she's doing it. I'm going to do it too. Let's all do it. And it takes somebody like that. I saw a kid with a presence tonight on the floor. And again, just to know it isn't easy. But, man, she was special tonight. And just really proud of her, proud of Jayla. Rakia just battled her guts out all night. She probably took, she gets a double-double, got 10 rebounds. I'll take some for that. Plays 37 minutes. But, I just think that other team out there is so good. I think A&M is really talented. They've got so many weapons. I'm not sure my kids, we had an early shoot around this morning, but even at that, I just think they're kids. And, man, you got to pat them on the back. They came out and punched us hard early, and we didn't want any part of it. But here's the thing. We give up 37 points in the first half. We held them to 20 in the second. 26-8 in the fourth quarter. That's an amazing stat in the Southeastern Conference against a top 20 team. And I just thought we were relentless. I thought you could not kill our will tonight. As bad as it got, I just know they tried to kill our will, and they certainly had us on the chopping block. But at the end of the day, we kept getting off the chopping block and wouldn't let them kill our will. And that is a sign, y'all, of a great team. And I'm not saying that they're great right now, but, man, they're trying to grow up. And I think we grew up a little bit more today. We've got so far to go. But that is certainly a great sign to see these young kids. I mean, to see who was out there on the floor. Zaria. I had Zaria, Jessica, Rakia, Jayla, Maya Taylor. 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen. Is that right? I mean, and they're doing it. I mean, I am just so proud of them. I just can't tell you. And again, I'm just really proud of her. I mean, to see her, she had a presence, y'all. And that's what you're looking for in a point guard. You got to have somebody that's got a presence. And she had it today.
I will take questions. We'll start with Brian. And say we'll get them up.
Maya, in the first half, y'all had 10 turnovers. You finished the game with 11. What were you able to do to protect the ball so much better in the second half?
I felt like second half we attacked more. First half we were really passive, we were really killers with the ball, but second half we knew we needed to attack, and I feel like with that we got more layups, more dish outs, and it became our game. So I think that was just the focus second half.
Jayla, coach doesn't really care whether you've been playing most of the game or not. In the fourth quarter and late in the second half, he'll put lineups together no matter what. How prepared do you feel like y'all are for moments like that? If you haven't played the whole game coming in, and you came in at a tough spot, y'all were down by double digits, I think. How prepared do you have to be, and how did you feel like you handled that moment?
He talks a lot about being ready when your number's called, and at the time when I came in, I knew that we needed to get stops. We needed to go to the boards, get rebounds in order to get back in the game. So I knew that was something that I had to focus a lot on when I got in the game.
Jayla drew the stop and then hit the layup on the ensuing possession. What did you see in that kind of sequence, and what was that like for you?
Honestly, I don't know. It was I could definitely tell that it definitely changed the momentum of the game. It helped us kind of get the swing back in things, and I just did whatever I had to do in order to help us get the win.
Maya, scoring isn't necessarily your first priority, but it was kind of your burst there that led the comeback and got you guys the lead back. What was it? Was it something that kind of clicked in your mind that said, I need to try to take over this game, or what was going through your mind when you were on that run that you were on?
I feel like me personally as a player, most of my points come from playing defense and getting steals and things like that. I feel like I said earlier, first half really passive. I wasn't trying to crack it or anything like that, and I think second half I made that a focus. And so once I started getting layups, my confidence got better. Then once I started getting steals, my confidence just went up and up, and my teammates did a great job of telling me, I got this, things like that. So just the energy from everybody, the bench, the fans, just everything, it all just ties into that one moment, that one play. So I just fed off of it, and I knew my team needed that. So I just did whatever I had to do to get the win.
Rakia, now I think it's 3 20-point games in the last 4. In that first half, your scoring really kept y'all at least within striking distance. What were you seeing from the matchup, and I guess what was working for you tonight?
Playing against a really strong Texas A&M team, I just knew that I had to attack them, especially number 31. She's a really good, strong, physical player, and I knew that she had about 4 fouls, so I knew I had to go at her, and my teammates just kept giving me the ball. So.
Maya, Vic spent most of his opening statement talking about the performance that you had all over the court. You know how important point guard play is to him, so when you hear him say all the things that he just did, what's it mean for you, and how much confidence does it give you, going down the stretch run of the season?
It gives me a lot of confidence because, like he said, it's not easy being a point guard for him. And I can say, I can't do it on my own. I need my teammates. I need Coach Jackson, my point guard coach, which does a great job of always in my ear just telling me just things I need to hear. But it means a lot. I still have a lot to go, but I definitely think that this was a confidence booster. And he kind of told me, "You're the best player on the court right now, right?" And and when he said that, I was like, "Yeah, coach, yeah, okay." okay, I got you. But it gives me a big confidence, and I just have to keep growing. I can't be comfortable. I can't keep looking back at this game. I have to move forward and get better in practice. So.
I think it was Jemiah and a couple others lifted you up at the end of the game. What was the feeling in that moment, and what was kind of going through your head as y'all are walking off the court?
it was. I mean, it was wonderful. I have amazing teammates. We all love each other. We support each other. We want to see everybody do good, no matter who it is. It, like he said, it was Jordan last game. In this game, it was me. It was everybody. It was Rakia. It was Jayla coming in. Like, just all of that. We want to see each other do so good. So I feel like with that, it makes you want to play harder for your teammates. It makes you get back in the game, things like that. So I love them to death. I'm so grateful to have the teammates that I do, and they continue to have confidence in me and vice versa. So.
Vic, I think that's 8-1 against A&M in the last 9. Given your history, obviously, that's a pretty big one for you. And I think I saw more animation out of you than we have probably all season. What's it mean for you to get this one, especially like you said, given A&M's a ranked team and picked to win the league too?
Well, I still have a lot of friends back there, and certainly have a lot of respect for Coach and in that program. I think my emotion tonight is more about my team and my university, and just seeing my young kids compete tonight. I mean, we got taken to the woodshed the first half, and I'm really proud of how in a really bad, it was really bad in my mind. We just weren't good. But to see how our young kids battled that veteran old team, I just am. That's my emotions are there. I'm just so proud. I'm proud of proud of my entire team for competing tonight, and it is special. We left there in 2012, and we left them. They had the number 2 recruiting class in the country coming in, and but we believed in these days like today, and it's just it's still a little weird when you're with somebody for 15 years and you're in a gym in that environment, and you were there together for 15 years and no telling how many games. And then all of a sudden you're in the gym with him and you ain't on the same bench. It's a little different. It doesn't ever get, to me, it's sometimes a little abnormal, but, it's hard to do. I'm really proud of our kids, and, I'm proud of our program. I'm proud of Mississippi State, and I'm proud of our women's basketball program, and I'm just really proud for these kids to be in that environment today. 8,200 fans, 8,400, however many we had, and in that environment, to see these young kids respond, and that's where my heart is.
We talked on Friday about your team being surprised by how well your team is playing on the road. But just in terms of mental toughness, do you feel like you learn something about your team when you see them play games like this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I learned 2 things tonight. I learned something about them in the first half, and then I learned something about them in the second half. And I'm just, they're young and they're kids. I didn't come in ranting and raving at halftime. At some point, they're smart enough to know what's going on, and it's. You almost half expect it. It's hard, even though you only get 30, you're only guaranteed 30-something. You just, and you try to coach against the ghost. You try to coach against letting them have bad games, bad practices, bad shoot-arounds. Shoot-around this morning at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. was not good. And so I spend the next 48 minutes of my run outside kicking myself, thinking, okay, we should have let them sleep. But I've seen that, and it's worse than what you saw today. Letting them sleep in and have breakfast and just come to the gym. That's a total nightmare. At least tonight we only had nightmare for a half. But, I'm constantly evaluating myself. I constantly evaluate what we're doing. And, at the end of the day, they're kids. But what we learned tonight is they're competitive kids. They're competitive young people. They're competitive student athletes, and when they realize and they make up their mind, you know what? Let's see if we can get this fixed. Let's right the ship. Let's respond. They're pretty special. I mean, that's a hell of a team, and they just outscored them 26-8 in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's a hell of a team. They got really good players. McDonald's All-Americans over there. Got a 6-time Hall of Fame coach. And they responded with that response. I mean, that is special, man. And I'm going to hang my hat on that for the next few days, next day or so. Go recruiting tomorrow and be proud of that.
Vic, I think Tyler kind of mentioned it, but we saw the emotion from you. I think it was y'all went up by about 4, and Gary called timeout, and we saw you kind of come out and raving and yelling, and I think got a high five with Rakio. What was kind of the emotion of that moment when you did you feel like that was kind of the moment the tides were stirring?
I just wanted them to know that, man, I'm in the fight. I'm in the fight. Let's go. Get excited. Let's get after it and let's play. Let's finish this thing like we're supposed to. And sometimes, I can't do it all night or I'll die. I mean, you just can't be that. You just can't do. I can't do it. My heart rate won't make it. As good a shape as I'm in, but I'm just, at those moments when you get a chance to jack up a freshman and get her excited and let her know, baby, you're the best player in the gym right now. Go own it. And that's what I just, sometimes they probably feed off that a little bit, and I feed off of them. I was feeding off of mine tonight, and I just think that's what we're all in the foxhole together, man. I'm in it with them, 110%. But yeah, I got a little juiced. I was excited. But I get that way every now and then. You know that.
Coach, in the first half, they were getting a lot of transition points and everything. Did y'all do any tactical changes in the second, or was it just, playing harder?
Yeah, we talked about that, boy. They were getting to the rim. They were getting mid-range uncontested, and that was something that we talked about. And I think getting back, I do think, again, I think our press wears you down a little bit, and I do think we're in great shape. And because they only play so many kids, not very many kids, I think at some point it wears on you a little bit. And so I think you've got to weather some of those storms early. Maybe you give up an easy basket early, but it might pay off late. And I think Maya's steals, on the half court were part of that. And so, she guarded their point guard and forced her into 7 turnovers. And, it just wears on you. So I think our kids understand that, and they just got to stay in it. If you can just stay in the fight, not let it get away from you, not let 11 points go to 14 or 15, and just weather the storm, which is what we did basically the first half. We just weathered the storm.
Rakia, just wanted to follow up on Ben's question to Coach about the excitement and everything. When you see your coach fist pumping and getting in the game like that, what's it do for you and the rest of your teammates?
It just gets us hype and builds our confidence. I never saw Coach Schaefer like that. After I got the rebound and the stick back and he called the timeout, I'm just casually going to the bench and I see him turning red and giving me a high five. I'm like, oh, this is Coach Schaefer. So, it just creates excitement in my heart to know that he's there with us 110%.
Woo! Praise the Lord and go Dogs. Ohio State.